Can we start the class, everyone? I think this is our last geography class of this foundation session. Don't worry, of this foundation, that is foundation course for what we are seeing in our class live classes. This will be the last class, and if possible, if I am not able to, that is, I have just thought of completing geomorphology within this class. If possible, I will complete it, or else we will continue with our next class. Okay. Today is birthday of Rizwan. Congrats, Rizwan. Wish you many more happy returns of the day. He has given me a chat. Okay. Walaikum salam. Okay. Just a minute, I will start it in 1 minute. Just a minute, please. Okay. So let us start. Let's start the session. So I think in last class, up to last class, we have seen about earthquake and seismic waves, the very importance of seismic waves and how we are using seismic waves to find the interior of the earth, how the interior of the earth is structured, and how we are estimating it based on seismic waves. Like after that, we have seen in our last class. Before going into the class, is there any doubts up to our last class? Is there any doubts for anybody in our last class? And I will explain the questions in our the last, that is after 1 o'clock. I will just discuss at 1 o'clock. I will discuss the questions. Okay. Any doubts up to our last class? No. Anybody? Can we start with today's session? What is the meaning of surface waves? Okay, Mohammad Asik. The meaning of surface waves is that the waves which travels through the surface of the earth. That is, consider this as the earth. Can you see my? I think you'll be seeing my mobile phone. Okay, so this is the surface of the earth. Okay, this is the surface of the earth, and the surface of the earth will be somewhat a curved surface. Okay, and this is the underneath the earth. That is, this is the interior of the earth. The earth is a structure of some nearly 6,000 kilometers. Okay, consider this as 6,000 kilometers of bulky sphere. Okay, 6,000 kilometers of bulky sphere, and this is the surface. And imagine yourself as the surface covers all these areas. So when a seismic wave starts in the interior of the earth, when a seismic wave starts in the interior of the earth, for example, say some 5 kilometers underneath the earth, that is ulla 5 kilometer ulla, அதாவது 5 kilometers underneath the earth and interior of the earth, that is from 5 kilometers from the surface. Seismic wave starting in the 5 kilometers from the surface, it is traveling and it is hitting the surface in one area. It travels and hits the top surface in one area. After hitting the surface, the wave's energy will be converted and it travels within the surface. After hitting the surface, that wave, its energy is converted. That is, the body wave's energy is converted and travels within the surface, and it makes the surface to shake like this. So hence we are calling those waves which are traveling only on the surface, we are calling them as surface waves. Clear up to this? Clear, Mohammad Asik? Surface waves, it is clear? Yes. Okay. Any other doubts? Any other doubts? Can we continue with today's session? Okay, no other doubts. Okay, I'm just going on with today's session. Okay, so in our last class, we have seen up to, that is, earthquake waves, how they are helping us to determine the interior of the earth. Likewise, so in our class, in this class particularly, this line is the surface. Okay, this line is the surface of the earth. That is, these areas are all the surface of the earth, and these the line after these areas are the interior of the earth. They have just cut the cross section of the earth. They have just cut the cross section, and they are showing you that. Okay, and also consider that we are assuming a large area of some 6,000 kilometers. That is, the radius of the earth is itself 6,000 kilometers. We are assuming, and we are dealing with 6,000 kilometers. So this particular portion where they are showing you the origin of the earthquake, that is the origin of the seismic wave. You can see that the seismic wave is being spreaded like this. So this particular region where the seismic wave is being originated, imagine that it is some 5 kilometer distance from the surface. That is, this distance. This distance is some 5 kilometer. Okay, the distance from the surface to the area where the seismic wave is started is being determined as some 5 kilometers. So imagine in that way and see so this wave is nothing but the first initial body waves. That is, the earthquake is started in one area and the body waves is moving on throughout the interior. In this particular position, you can see that, you can see that since the waves, if originated in one particular area, the topmost area, since the waves, if originated in one particular area in the top area, while it is traveling, it is coming under each and every distraction from one and another point area. That is because of the inner core, the changing structure of the Earth's interior. Because of the changing structure of Earth's interior, the waves are being refracted. That is, the waves are being refracted, and it is making the waves to refract, and hence, in some areas we are not seeing the waves, and we are calling them as shadow zones. This is the thing. That is, the surface, whether in the surface area where this body waves is not, we are not seeing the body waves, will be called, these areas, the lines on the surface, you can see in the screen that the lines on the surface, these areas are called as the shadow zones of, that is, many of you have confused with the shadow zones. So I'm just repeating it. These areas are called as the shadow zones of the P waves. Since we are just seeing about P waves. So this is the thing about the earthquake waves and how they are working. So next one important thing, that is, please watch this video also. This is again the same thing, but it is being illustrated with both P waves and S waves. So clear up to this. What is refraction? Refraction is nothing but, you can see here, that is, when the waves are just hitting the area, you can just watch the screen. When the waves are hitting the difference of medium, that is the medium, that is that is the difference of medium from the mantle to the core. So when the waves are hitting a difference of medium, because of the difference of medium, that their energy level, the waves are nothing but it is in form of energy. The energy level cannot travel in the same manner or in the same direction how they have been moving. It again relates with our basics of physics. That is, when they are just changing from a difference of medium, that difference of medium we will be discussing right now. After this slide, we will be discussing the difference of medium. What is the difference of medium? Okay, so just keep it in mind. When the waves are just hitting a difference of medium, they are changing from a solid medium to a liquid medium. That is, the structure of the interior is being changed from a solid to a liquid. Since the structure of the interior is being changed from a solid to a liquid, they are just getting a thing that their energy level is being refracted, and hence they are moving in another direction from their original direction. That is, for example, if a wave is starting from one particular area and it is moving in this, if a wave is starting from one particular area and it is moving in this direction, if there is no difference of medium, from a solid or a liquid to a solid, if there is no difference of medium, this wave will just travel in this direction only. But since there is a reflection, the difference of medium, that is considered that this is the difference of medium. This is the area where we are getting the difference of medium. So since there is a difference of medium, when the wave is coming this way, after hitting the difference, it is being diffracted in another one direction. This is the thing. What we are calling it as refraction or diffraction. That is, it differs based on book in which they are dealing with it. Okay, it is nothing but because of the difference in medium, they are being refracted. Okay. Any other thing? Compressive wave and shear wave. Okay. It is not needed to go into compressive wave and shear wave, but anyway, I'll just give you basic details about it. But actually, for our prelims, it is not needed. Okay. So watch this slide. Watch this particular slide. In this, you can see two different types of wave movement. That is, one wave will be moving in the type of like this. It is nothing but the P wave. You can please watch it clearly. Watch my pen clearly. This P wave will be moving. I'm just moving it slowly. Okay, it will be moving in this direction. Okay, but S wave will be moving in this direction. Can you watch the difference? P wave will be moving in this manner. Hence, it is called as compressive wave. But S wave will be moving in this manner. Hence, it is called as shear wave. But compressive and shear wave will be coming for our only for our geography optional only, not for prelims. Okay, for prelims, just getting just their basic details about how they are moving is enough for us. Okay. Ask Mohammed Asik, sir, if the P wave hits one object, solid or liquid, then it converted into S wave. Yes, we can tell like that. When a P wave interact with any material medium, then only its energy is changed and we are calling them as S wave. So when a P wave hits a solid or liquid, we cannot tell that it is converted. If it is converted means consider that what I can say. Okay, consider that if I am running, okay, if I am running and I am hitting one particular wall, that is one material medium. If I am the P wave and I'm running and I'm hitting a one particular material medium, if the thing is, if you are using the term converted, then my entire body will be converted. That is the P wave will be converted, but it is not like that. What it is happening is that when the P wave is coming and it is hitting the material medium, when the P wave is coming and hitting the material medium, this P wave is leading to another energy of S wave. Hence, S wave is started and it is going, but again this P wave is going on. So the entire P wave is not converted into fully S wave. This P wave is leading into another one S wave. That S wave is moving in one direction. But again, this P wave is continuously moving on after hitting the material medium also. So it is making the P wave is interacting with the material medium and it is making the S wave, but it is not fully converted into S wave. Okay, I think it will be clear for you. The energy of P wave is more than the energy of S wave. Yes, we can tell like that. The energy of P wave will be more than the S wave because of the material difference. That is, after P wave interaction with the material only, we are getting the S wave. So the energy of P wave will be more than the energy of S wave. Yes, it's right. It's right, Najma Nilofer. Okay, can we continue with the other things? I think it will be clear for you. And when we are going with the other slides, it will be much clearer for you. Don't worry. So coming here, so when scientists analyze the P waves and S waves, they came to a conclusion that there is a difference in the material of the inner earth structure. Mohideen Fatima, which wave is frequently recorded, sir? It differs, ma. But frequently we can say that P wave is being recorded each and every time throughout the time period. That is right now what we are attending the class in some other parts of the earth. That is in some other parts of some other country or some other place, they may record the P wave. Because why P wave is mostly recorded is that because P wave hits the seismograph immediately than the S wave. Hence, sometimes we may not record the S wave because their energy might be very low and it may not be seen in the seismograph. But P waves will be mostly frequently recorded, but this question is not needed for our UPSC because it changes based on which area, in which type of earthquake it changes. Okay. Jaina Buffering, I'm not getting your point. Energy of P wave higher than S wave, said to be destructive. I'm not getting your point. Please elaborate it. Jaina Buffering. Energy of P wave is somewhat higher than S wave. That we can say that. But what you are asking, I'm not getting your point. Please. Okay. Coming back. So coming back to the class. Tamil solonuma. In the botta class, நான் போன வாரம் தமிழ் எடுத்தேன். ஆன்சர் பாஷா போன வாரம் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணீங்களா இல்லையா? இப்ப நான் ஒன்னும் புதுசாவே எடுக்கல. நான் போன வாரம் மொத்த கிளாஸையும் நான் தமிழ்ல எடுத்தேன். அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணீங்களா இல்லையா? அப்புறம் இப்ப என்ன டவுட்? உங்க டவுட் நீங்க கரெக்டா கேங்க. நீங்க எக்ஸ்பிளைன் இன் தமிழ்னா நான் மொத்த கிளாஸையும் தமிழ்ல எடுக்கிறதா இன்னொரு அரை மணி நேரம் ஆகும். இதுல உங்களுக்கு என்ன டவுட்ங்கிறத கரெக்டா சொல்லுங்க. நான் அதை தமிழ்ல கண்டிப்பா நான் சொல்றேன். பிரச்சனையே கிடையாது. Then why S wave is said to be distractive? What you are asking? Please give your statement very clearly, ma. Jaina Buffering. Then why S wave is said to be distractive means what you try to mean it. Answer பாஷா உங்க क्वेश्चन கரெக்ட்டா சொல்லுங்க. எது உங்களுக்கு பர்టిక్యులரா உங்களுக்கு புரியலன்னு அத நான் கரெக்ட்டா டச் பண்றேன். ஏன்னா மொத்த கிளாஸே நான் தமிழ்ல எடுக்கணும்னா அப்ப இந்த கிளாஸ் நம்ம கண்டக்ட் பண்ண டைமே இல்லாம போய்டும். லாஸ்ட் கிளாஸ் வேற. இதுல நிறைய மேட்டர் இருக்கு. முக்கியமான மேட்டர் நிறைய இருக்கு. ப்ளீஸ் மா. I think they are typing the question. Okay. When they have completed the typing, I'll just explain them. Okay, don't worry. Okay, so what's Asmat Nisha, what is your have you not attended the last class? If so, please watch the recorded video. Please, I think they are providing the recorded video in your portal. Please watch that in the recorded video if you are not attended the last class, because I have already said in my first class Geography, if you are not attending one class in between, you will not be able to understand the second class because everything will be continuity. Okay. Jainab, can you please elaborate your question? I'm not getting your question. Please. Sorry for that. And answer Basha, நீங்க என்ன சொல்ல வரீங்கறத கொஞ்சம் ப்ளீஸ் தமிழ்ல கிளியரா சொன்னீங்கன்னா நான் நீங்க என்ன கேக்குறீங்கறத கிளியரா. Okay. Asmat Nisha, yes, as per my knowledge, they have said that this will be the last class, because for this, I mean last class in the sense, it is not the end of geography. For your foundation course, after foundation course, I think we'll be continuing with that. Okay, so for foundation course, okay, P waves and S waves, adana Tamil la sollanuma. Okay, onni illama, சிம்பிளா என்ன நடக்குதுன்னா வந்து பூமிக்குள்ள வந்து ஒரு எர்த்குவேக், நான் ரெண்டே லைன்ல ஜஸ்ட் ஒரு 2 மினிட்ஸ்ல முடிக்கிறேன் பாத்துங்க. இப்போ பூமிக்குள்ள, ஏன்னா நம்ம அடுத்த கிளாஸ் போனதுனால, பூமிக்குள்ள வந்து ஒரு எர்த்குவேக் ஒரு இது உருவாகுது, ஒரு பிரச்சனை உருவாகுது. அது பிரச்சனைங்கிறது வந்து ஏதோ ஒன்று உடையுது, அதனால என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா ஒரு எனர்ஜி ரிலீஸ் ஆகுது. அதுல ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வர்ற வேவ் பி வேவ். ஓகேவா? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வர்ற வேவ் பி வேவ்னா வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இமிடியேட்டா ஒரு எனர்ஜி ரிலீஸ் ஆகுது, அது பி வேவ். அந்த எனர்ஜி வந்து அங்க உள்ளேயே வந்து நமக்கு உள்ள வந்து கல் இருக்கு, மண் இருக்கு, அந்த மாதிரி மெட்டீரியல் மீடியம், நம்ம மெட்டீரியல் மீடியம் சொல்றது உள்ளே இருக்கக்கூடிய கல்லு மண்ணு உள்ள வந்து அது போக வந்து கொஞ்சம் இடத்துல தண்ணி இருக்கலாம், கொஞ்சம் இடத்துல பெரிய பெரிய பாறை இருக்கலாம், அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கு இல்லையா? அந்த மெட்டீரியலோட வந்து அந்த பிவே வந்து அதோட இன்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணும்போது அந்த பிவேவும் போயிட்டு இருக்குது. அட் த சேம் டைம் அது என்ன பண்ணுதுன்னா அது எஸ் வேவ்ஸ்னு ஒண்ணு இது பண்ணி விட்டுருது, ஒரு தூண்டி விட்டுருது. அதாவது மொத்த பிவேவும் எஸ் வேவா மாறல. மொத்த பிவேவும் எஸ்வேவா மாறி இருந்தா நமக்கு வந்து பிவேவே நமக்கு சீஸ்மோகிராஃப்ல கிடைச்சிருக்காது. மொத்த பிவேவும் எஸ்வேவா மாறல. என்ன நடக்குதுன்னா ஒரு பிவே வந்துகிட்டு இருக்கு, பிவே வந்து இந்த மாதிரி வந்துகிட்டு இருக்கு. வர்ற வேவ் வந்து மெட்டீரியல் இது பண்ண உடனே வந்து மோதின உடனே எஸ் வேவ்னு ஒண்ணு தூண்டி விட்டுருது. இதோட வேலையில போயிட்டு, இதோட வழியில அது வாட்டில போயிட்டு இருக்கு. சோ தனியா இங்க ஒரு வேவை தூண்டி விட்டுருது, இதுவும் போகுது. சோ இததான் வந்து பி வேவ்ல இருந்து எஸ் வேவ் வருது அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்றது. உங்களுடைய என்சிஆர்டில எப்படி ஒரு லைன் கொடுத்திருப்பாங்கன்னா, when P wave interacts with the material medium, we will be getting the S waves. அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி லைன் கொடுத்திருப்பாங்க. அது அர்த்தம் என்னன்னா P wave வந்து மெட்டீரியல் மீடியமோட இன்டராக்ட் பண்ணும்போது S wave ஜெனரேட் ஆகுது. ஏன்னா P wave S wave அந்த எனர்ஜி டிஃபரன்ஸ் தான், அந்த எனர்ஜி டிஃபரன்ஸ்னால S wave ஜெனரேட் ஆகுது. அப்ப அதோட அர்த்தம் என்னன்னா P wave மொத்தமா S wave மாறிடுச்சானா கிடையாது. P wave மொத்தமா S wave மாறல. P wave வந்து மெட்டீரியலோட இன்டராக்ட் பண்ணும்போது S waveங்கற ஒண்ண புதுசா கிளப்பி விட்டுறது. அது தனியா அதோட லைன்ல போயிட்டு இருக்குது, P wave தனியா அதோட லைன்ல போயிட்டு இருக்கு. கிளியர்? Okay, coming back to another question. S wave make more distraction than P wave, but P wave said to have more energy. How? Which have more energy must do more distraction? No. Yes, Jainam, you cannot relate like that. I'll tell you why. Okay. So your question is nice. Yes, Jainam, but you cannot relate like that. Why means within the P wave, that is, we are not going in depth into the P wave and S wave because of the reason that we are reading only geography problems. Okay, when we are going into geography means we will be reading much within the P wave and within the S wave. That is, there are differences of the bit. Just a minute, ma. There are differences of P wave and S wave. Within them itself, there are 3 different waves. There are 3 to more different waves called P alpha, P gamma. Likewise, why I'm denoting here it is that is so consider that the first point is P wave is coming off more energy. P wave is coming off more energy. It denotes that it has different types of energy. It has different types of energy. Each and every types of energy will interact with the material medium. When they are interacting with the material medium, it will make each and every types of another S waves. So can you get my point? That is, P waves, when they are interacting with the the different types of P waves. P waves have its own branches. Those branches, when they are interacting with the material medium, they will be having much more different types of S waves will be created. So the channel goes on like that. So when it is going on like that, the P wave, and again here the second important, this is the first important thing. The second important thing here is that the P wave is the only wave which can travel through both solid and liquid. So when it is traveling through both solid and liquid, we will be able to get their diffraction. That is, we will be able to get their refraction or diffraction, okay, whatever we call it, we'll be able to get their diffraction. And again, P wave is going through 2 different changes. That is from mantle to core. When they are moving, when PV is moving from mantle to core, we are seeing one different changes. And again, when it is moving from core to inner core, that is outer core to inner core, we are having another one different changes. And again, please watch here. Here it is going to one diffraction here. This is the first way of diffraction. This is the second way of second level of material changes. This is the second level of material changes. And again, it is going into another diffraction here. Okay, this is the third level, and this is the fourth level. You can watch that, because since it is a sphere, since Earth is a sphere and core, mantle, everything is a sphere, it is going into diffraction here. So because of its higher energy level, it is capable of moving into these areas. But since S wave is not that much capable of energy level, and since it is not moving into, it is not capable of moving into liquid, or that is, it is only capable of moving into solid, we are not getting the S waves here and all, and we are not getting its diffraction. I think you'll be getting my point. Jainab, is it clear? Is it clear, Jainab? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. So there are many things within it itself. Don't go in depth into it, because for prelims it is not needed. For mains also it is not needed. Only for geography optional it is needed. If you are reading geography optional, don't worry. In your geography optional classes, it will be covered much more in depth into it. Don't worry about it. Okay. So for prelims it is enough. Why I'm insisting for prelims it is enough means, if we are going in depth into it, we'll be getting confusion on it. And another one thing is, we'll be wasting more of our time, because there is much more. Many things needed to be covered in our classes. Okay, coming back. So I think you'll be seeing the slide in your screen. So now we are differentiating from the top to the bottom. That is from top to the bottom. How to write answer writing? ஒரு 1:30 மணிக்கு மேல நான் அதை சொல்றேன், ஏன்னா டைமே கிடையாது. நான் இந்த கிளாஸை முடிச்சாலும் அதை முடிச்சு நான் அப்புறம் வர்றேன். அதுக்கு மொஹிதீன் பாத்திமா, ஓகேவா? நான் முடிச்சுட்டு அப்புறம் வர்றேன் ஆன்சர் ரைட்டிங். ஓகே, ஸோ okay, so coming back, so from top to bottom, it'll be just going on how each and every layer is differentiated. Okay, so from in the top, we know that we are having the crust. That is what we are calling it as a crust. This particular image is not this particular image is taken from your NCERT itself, and showing you another image which is having much more in-depth details about this image. Okay, coming here. So these two images are nothing but the same only. These two images are same only, but this particular image is much more. Just we have zoomed in much more. That's all. So from top to the bottom, when we are seeing that, we know that by analyzing the P waves and S waves, scientists have come to a conclusion that there is a thing called crust. There is a thing called crust, and within the crust. There is a thing called crust, and within the crust, that is the crust is comprised within the lithosphere. Okay, so here the question may be in two types. Okay, so just consider lithosphere. It is a data oriented question. Consider lithosphere. Lithosphere is having both crust and upper mantle. Can you see it? In the pic using lithosphere with crust? Lithosphere is not equal to crust. Lithosphere is entirely different and crust is different. Okay, lithosphere comprises of both crust and upper mantle, the inner water body. Groundwater, I'm telling about groundwater, aquifers, stone, mud, sand, rocks, all this area is nothing but the crust area. So but the lithosphere, geographically the lithosphere comprises of both crust and upper mantle. Okay, coming back, upper mantle, the mantle comprises of the area, the thing called mantle. The mantle comprises of asthenosphere plus the mantle. Okay, mantle comprises of the asthenosphere and the mantle itself. So you can see here they have given you a term called asthenosphere here. Okay, anybody have any idea about asthenosphere? The layer asthenosphere. Any idea about asthenosphere? Anybody? Whatever you have heard about asthenosphere, whatever you have read about asthenosphere, just give it. Means weak. Okay. Can relate to liquid. Okay. Super Arshad, super Celia Mohammed. Done. Any other? What is the anything about asthenosphere? Colloidal layer. Yes, Roshni. Yes, we can, Roshni Sheikh, yes, we can say like the colloidal layer. Then, super, any other? Asthenosphere பத்தி ஏதாவது கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? It comprises magma. Yes, we can relate like that. Yes, it comprises magma. Consists of solid particles. Yes, it also consists of solid particles. Yes, okay. Super. Rocky oil. We cannot attribute oil to it, ma. Once again, crust. Okay, I will come back. Don't worry. I will come back to the crust. Don't worry. Then anything else about asthenosphere? Okay. So to be precise, asthenosphere is nothing but surface of volcano. We can relate. Yes, we can relate somewhat. Okay. So to be precise, asthenosphere is nothing but it is a semi-solid layer. ஒரு குழம்பு மாதிரி இருக்கும். It is a semi-solid layer. அக்னி குழம்புன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க தெரியுமா, அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறதா வந்து semi-solid layer. Okay, it is a semi-solid layer. Why we are calling it as a asthenosphere as a semi-solid layer is that it is a layer. It is like a molten plastic. Yes, very good. We can fluidic layer. Yes, super. It is a fluidic layer. It is a semi-solid layer. We cannot tell that it is either solid or either it is not fully fluid as a liquid, and it is not more compressed like solid, but it is a semi-solid layer. So in our differentiation process, coming back to our that is our era of Earth's evolution, in our differentiation process, we said that all the Earth's crust has been made as that is, it cooled from inner area and it has been solidified. Then how come a layer of semi-solid has been formed in between the Earth's crust and the mantle? Is there any reason how come this semi-solid layer has been, that is, either it should be a liquid or solid? How come it formed as a semi-solid layer, that too in between the crust and the mantle? Is there any idea about it? How come it came into existence as a semi-solid layer? Any idea? Because of high temperature. Because of high temperature, it must be a liquid layer. And how come the temperature? Okay, we can attribute it to high temperature. Where the temperature comes from? Because of high pressure, we cannot attribute high pressure. If it is a high pressure, just think that asthenosphere is a layer. Asthenosphere is a layer which is holding only the pressure of lithosphere. That is, asthenosphere is holding only the pressure of the upper crust. The crust and the upper mantle, but the mantle, the core, it is holding the pressure of both the mantle, the crust, everything. Then only our mantle or core should be of a semi-solid, or if we are attributing to pressure. இத நம்ம பிரஷர் அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொன்னோம்னா, அஸ்தனோஸ்பியரோட தலையில இருக்கிறது வெறும் லித்தோஸ்பியர் கிரஸ்ட் மட்டும் தான். ஆனா மேண்டில் தலையில வந்து மொத்த அஸ்தனோஸ்பியர் இருக்கு, கிரஸ்ட் இருக்குது. அதே மாதிரி கோர் தலையில வந்து மேண்டிலே இருக்குது. அப்ப அதோட பிரஷர் எல்லாம் வேரி ஆகும். So we cannot attribute because of it. Because of volcanoes, no, we cannot directly attribute it because of volcanoes. Because of differentiation. What is that differentiation? Somewhat you are relating it. Degassing. What is that? How come? Because of temperature, we can tell it. Yes, because of temperature, as Sheila Mohammed has said, because of temperature, we can attribute it. Yes, but from where the temperature is coming? That is what my question is. Do tectonic plates float in mantle? I will come to that. Don't worry. I will come to that. Don't worry. Large convective cells in the mantle circulate heat. Yes, super. Large convective cells in the mantle circulate heat. Okay, then any other thing? You are just leaving one important, very important thing. Density differences. While density differences, it has been accumulated in that area. Yes, super. Then yes, I got the answer. Radioactive decay from Ahmed. Yes, very good. Thank you. Radioactive decay. Super, very good. So here there are two important things which is making the asthenosphere to be semi-solid layer. One thing is, the first and the foremost is radioactive decay. Radioactive decay. The radioactive decay of, that is, the radioactive decay of the radioactive material which are deposited within the mantle. The radioactive materials which are deposited within the mantle, they are decaying, and it is making a temperature increase in the asthenosphere, and it is making the asthenosphere to be heated. This is the first important thing. For pressure, I will come to it. Pressure is a different thing. For pressure, I will come to it at the after this. Okay, don't worry. First thing is radioactive decay. Second thing is temperature. Temperature from mantle. Second thing is temperature from mantle. So reason why the asthenosphere is a semi-solid is because of the radioactive decay from the mantle. Second reason why the asthenosphere is a semi-solid is because of the pressure from the temperature from the mantle. Here pressure will not be taken into account because pressure of asthenosphere is not that much enough to make it as a semi-solid. Okay, so pressure will not be coming here. And coming to the temperature from the mantle, we know that if you are taking an iron solid iron rod, if you are taking iron rock and if you are pouring it in a highly temperature furnace, we know that it will melt into a, that is iron fluidic, that is it will melt and it will become a fluidic structure. Likewise, because of the temperature from the mantle and where this temperature is coming from the mantle, we will be covering it later, don't worry, I'll be covering it, don't worry. Okay, so because of the temperature from the mantle and because of the radioactive decay, asthenosphere is semi-solid. Clear up to this? Clear up to this? Clear up to this? We have to go step by step, each and everything has its own details, so we have to go from step by step. Clear up to this? Yes, okay, thank you. Okay, once again I'll be telling it, don't worry. So that is asthenosphere அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு semi solid layer, ஒரு குழம்பு மாதிரி structure அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்றோம். Why it is a semi solid layer? Because of two important reasons it is a semi solid layer. The first important reason is that the radioactive decay from interior of the earth, the radioactive decay from the interior of the earth, that is from the mantle. அதாவது mantle ஏரியாவுல ஒரு சில the radioactiveங்கிறது என்ன அப்படின்னா வந்து நம்ம இப்ப சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, today we are seeing that in our nuclear reactions, that is யுரேனியம், புளூட்டோனியம், தோரியம், நம்ம வந்து நியூக்ளியர் ரியாக்டர்ஸ் எல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்றோம் இல்லையா, ரேடியோ ஆக்டிவ் மெட்டீரியல்ஸ், யுரேனியம், புளூட்டோனியம், தோரியம், அந்த மாதிரி ரேடியோ ஆக்டிவ் மெட்டீரியல்ஸ், அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய ரேடியோ ஆக்டிவ் மெட்டீரியல்ஸ் மேண்டில்ல டெபாசிட் இருக்கு. These radioactive materials deposited in the mantle, they are continuously decaying from the evolution of the earth, from the evolution of the earth from till today, they are continuously decaying, but we are not seeing their energy because of the reason that atmosphere and our crust is holding them. Our atmosphere and crust is holding that is the radioactive energy is coming from the mantle and it is hitting the atmosphere. When it is hitting the atmosphere, it will release a heat energy. And the radioactive, அந்த உள்ள இருந்து வரக்கூடிய அந்த கதிர்வீச்சு, நம்ம இன்னைக்கு சொல்லக்கூடிய யுரேனியம், தோரியம், புளூட்டோனியம்ல இருந்து வரக்கூடிய அந்த கதிர்வீச்சு வந்து அந்த அட்மாஸ்பியர் அப்படிங்கிற அந்த லேயர்ல வந்து ஹிட் பண்ணி ஒரு ஹீட் எனர்ஜி கிரியேட் பண்ணுது. அதனால அட்மாஸ்பியர் வந்து இப்ப நம்ம வந்து ஒரு இரும்பு ராடை கொண்டு போய் வந்து ஒரு நல்லா ஹீட்டா இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு ஃபர்னஸ்ல கொண்டு போய் போட்டோம் அப்படின்னா அது அப்படியே வந்து இதாயிரும் இல்லையா, அது அப்படியே வந்து ஒரு இரும்பு ராடு சாலிடா இருக்கிறது, பட் நல்ல ஹீட்டான ஒரு ஃபர்னஸ்ல போட்டோம்னா, ஒரு நல்ல ஹீட்ல போட்டோம் அப்படின்னா அது அப்படியே உருகிடும். அந்த மாதிரி அட்மாஸ்பியரும் உருகி போய் ஒரு செமி சாலிடா இருக்கு. முதல் காரணம் ரேடியோஆக்டிவ் டிகே. The second reason is that the heat from the mantle. The second reason is that heat from the mantle. Mantle இருந்து தொடர்ச்சியா வரக்கூடிய mantle நீங்க பாக்குறீங்க இல்லையா, இதுதான் mantle, இந்த mantle ஏரியா. ஓகேவா, இந்த mantle ஏரியா, இந்த mantle இருந்து தொடர்ச்சியா வரக்கூடிய வெப்பத்தாலையும் அது வந்து செமி சாலிடா உருகி போயிருது அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்றோம். செமி சாலிட்னா என்னன்னா அது வந்து ரொம்ப இதா இல்லாம சாலிட் மாதிரி நல்ல பாறை மாதிரி இல்லாம அது உருகி போயிருது. ஏன் அது உருகி போயிருது அப்படின்னா ஹீட் வருது. எங்க இருந்து ஹீட் வருது? ரெண்டு இடத்துல இருந்து வருது. ஒன்னு ரேடியோ ஆக்டிவ், இன்னொன்னு வந்து mantle இருந்து வரக்கூடிய ஹீட். இது ரெண்டு தான் அதோட ரீசன். ஓகேவா, radioactive materials, how these are still active? They are still active and they will be active for and again millions of years, brother, because they are radioactive materials. We are not dealing with 1 gram of radioactivity or 2 gram of radioactivity. Here we are dealing with kilograms and kilograms of radioactivity which are deposited at the time of Earth's evolution. Okay, these radioactive materials should be deposited in the Earth's inner core, but they have been deposited then and there in the outer layer, in the atmosphere, and we are just getting their decays from now, but we are not dealing with 1 gram of 2 gram. It is a much powerful that it will decay up to when the Earth is for another 1 million years or 1 billion years. Okay, don't worry about that. Clear? Okay, thank you. So this is the thing about asthenosphere. Okay, coming to mantle. So mantle is a solid structure. Why mantle is a solid structure is that, again, coming back to our Earth's evolution, since it is cooled from the interior, mantle has been cooled as a solid structure and it is acting as a solid structure. Solid structure is nothing but what we are seeing as a solid. That is, it is being deposited of ions, carbon, and each and every element what we are seeing in the Earth. It is being deposited of these elements and it is again a solid structure. It is being like that. Okay, but the core is the outer core is a liquid structure. The outer core is a liquid structure. If mantle is a solid structure, then how come outer core will be liquid? Any idea about it? Now just tell me, any idea about it? How come the outer core will be a liquid structure? If mantle is a solid structure, then how come outer core will be a liquid structure? Any idea about it? Here your previous answers, that is previous, many of you are giving one particular term. That answer will be coming here. Differentiation, how come? Can you please elaborate it, Shaila Mohammed? Differentiation, how come? Pressure, pressure about a question mark. Yes, pressure. Material density. Material density is related with differentiation. Yes, density of materials. Yes, yes, density of materials. We know that. As you are saying, yes, super density of materials. We know that much denser material will be here than the metal. Yes, as per our differentiation principle, much denser material will be here rather than that is much denser material than the mantle will be in the outer core because of differentiation. Then the mantle is not that is a mantle is not so liquid, but the core is liquid. Why? Temperature is much higher at upper core. Yes, it's right. Where the temperature is coming from? Solid deposit under the liquid. How you are relating it, Mohammed Asik? எப்படி நீங்க சொல்றீங்க? நான் அதுக்கு வரேன். நீங்க சொல்றது ஒரு வகையில கரெக்ட். நான் அதுக்கு வரேன், Mohammed Asik. Temperature is much higher at Afifanas. Yes, you are right. Where come the temperature is coming? Temperature from inner core. Super. Yes, Rizwan. Temperature from inner core. Yes, you are right. The temperature from the inner core. So here two things. Yes, you have given the answers. All of you have given the answers. Yes. So here two things is making the mantle, the outer core to be that here two things is making the outer core to be semi-solid. The first thing is that temperature from inner core. We know that when I'm just holding my hands in this manner, when I'm just holding the hands in my manner, I will be feeling a heat sense in between my hands. Have you ever experienced? If I'm just holding my hand in this manner, just I'm pressuring both my hands in this manner, and I'm just squeezing it, I can feel a heat sense within my hand because of the reason that when a pressure is being applied by two different materials, when a pressure is being applied from two different materials, because of that enormous pressure, we can feel the heat. Yes, likewise within the core. We know that the core area, the inner core, which is we are seeing here, the inner core, which we are seeing here, the inner core is having the entire pressure of outer core area. This is some 3000 kilometers. So you can see here, this is some 3000 kilometers, and again some 3000 kilometers of mantle area. So it is having nearly some we can attribute to some 5000 kilometers totally. So 5000 kilometers of outer core area and mantle area is being pressurized in the inner core. All this materials pressure is being dumped to the inner core. That is some 5000 kilometers of materials is being dumped to the inner core. Because of this reason, inner core is of highest temperature. Because of the reason, inner core is of highest temperature. இந்த பாயிண்ட் இப்படியே நோட் பண்ணிக்கங்க. தயவு செஞ்சு தமிழ்ல கேட்காதீங்க இந்த பாயிண்ட. ஏன் அப்படின்னா இந்த பாயிண்ட் இதே மாதிரி தான் உங்களுக்கு பிரிலிம்ஸ்ல இருக்கும். பிரிலிம்ஸ்ல தமிழ்ல நம்ம क्वेश्चन இருக்காது, இங்கிலீஷ்ல இருக்கும். அதனால தயவு செஞ்சு இந்த பாயிண்ட் இப்படியே நோட் பண்ணிக்கங்க. ஓகேவா? அதாவது அதிகபட்சமான வெப்பநிலை, அத highest னு சொல்லணும். EST is very important here, ma. EST is very important. Okay, I will just tell you why the EST is very important. I'll just come to it. Okay, so please note this point. Inner core is having the highest temperature. Inner core is having the highest temperature. Okay, inner core is having the highest temperature. Whereas inner core is having the highest temperature. Whereas outer core is having higher temperature. என்ன சார் வித்தியாசம் ரெண்டுக்கும் உள்ள ஒரே வித்தியாசம் EST இங்க ER. அதாமா, it's a simple grammatical difference, nothing other than that. Highest denotes that it is the utmost, higher denotes that somewhat higher, that's all. Okay, so it's a simple grammatical difference, but this difference is being asked in UPSC. Okay, this is the thing what they are asking. Okay, so inner core is of highest temperature. EST comes here. Please keep it in mind. It is very, very important. Inner core is of highest temperature. Umar Rizwan, I'll just come to it. Don't worry, I'll just come to it. And class complete. Okay. Inner core is of highest temperature. Outer core is of higher temperature. Why the inner core is of highest temperature? Because of it is holding the pressure from outer core and also the mantle and all other things. Okay, inner core is holding the pressure from all these regions, hence it is of the highest temperature. Because since outer core is having only the pressure from mantle, it is of higher temperature. Inner core நம்ம சொல்லக்கூடியது உள்ள இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த இன்னர் கோர் நம்ம சொல்லக்கூடியது அதுக்கு அதோட தலையில அவுட்டர் கோரோட ஏரியாவும் இருக்கு, மேட்டலோட ஏரியாவும் இருக்கு. அதாவது கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 5000 கிலோமீட்டருக்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய மெட்டீரியல்ஸ் அதோட தலையில இருக்கு. எது தலையில? இன்னர் கோர்ல. அதனால அதை நம்ம வந்து இதுக்கே அதிகபட்சமான வெப்பநிலை ஹையஸ்ட் டெம்பரேச்சர் அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்றோம். இந்த ஹையஸ்ட் டெம்பரேச்சர் தான் உங்களுக்கு கீவேர்டா கொஸ்டின்ல பிரிலிம்ஸ்ல கொடுப்பாங்க. மெயின்ஸ் பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் நீங்க தமிழ்ல எழுதிக்கலாம், பிரச்சனை கிடையாது. பட் பிரிலிம்ஸ் பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் உங்களுக்கு கொஸ்டின் இங்கிலீஷ்ல தான் இருக்கு. அதனால அதை நீங்க கொஞ்சம் புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். அதனால அதை அப்படியே நோட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஓகேவா? சோ இன்னர் கோர் அப்படிங்கிறது அதிகபட்சமான வெப்பநிலையா ஹையஸ்ட் டெம்பரேச்சரா வந்து இருக்கு. ஆனா அதே அவுட்டர் கோரை நம்ம பார்க்கும்போது அது தலையில வெறும் மேண்டல் மட்டும் தான் இருக்கு. அவுட்டர் கோர் நம்ம வந்துட்டோம் அப்படின்னா ஒரு 2000 கிலோமீட்டர் குறைஞ்சிரும். மேண்டல் மட்டும் தான் தலையில இருக்கு. அதனால அது ஹையர் டெம்பரேச்சர் இருக்கு. சோ clear up to this. So coming here, so outer core because of higher temperature, outer core because of higher temperature and along with the pressure from mantle, it is in liquid state. Outer core because of the higher temperature, please note it down. Outer core because of the higher temperature and because of the pressure from the mantle, it is in liquid stage. Outer core பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் அங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய அதிகமான வெப்பநிலை கிடையாது, அதிகமான வெப்பநிலை. ஏன்னா ஹையர் தான் சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? சோ அவுட்டர் கோரை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் அங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய அதிகமான வெப்பநிலையும் அதோட சேர்த்து அங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய டெம்பரேச்சர், அதிகமான டெம்பரேச்சரோட சேர்த்து அது மேண்டல்ல இருந்து வரக்கூடிய பிரஷர்னால என்ன ஆயிடுது அப்படின்னா, மேண்டல்ல இருந்து வரக்கூடிய பிரஷர்னால என்ன ஆயிடுது அப்படின்னா, அந்த பிரஷர்னாலையும் உள்ள இருக்கக்கூடிய டெம்பரேச்சர்னாலையும் அது ஒரு லிக்விட் ஸ்டேஜா, மோல்டன் ஸ்டேட்டுக்கு உருகி போய் லிக்விட் ஸ்டேஜா மாறிடுது. The outer core has been converted into a liquid stage because of the reason that it has higher temperature from the inner core and also pressure from the mantle. Okay, but the inner core is in just a solid state. The inner core is a solid stage because of the reason that though it is having the pressure from the though it is having the highest temperature, though it is having the highest temperature that is extreme temperature, it is not having that much pressure is not there to make into a liquid stage. Clear? இன்னர் கோருக்கு அதுக்கு அவ்வளோ டெம்பரேச்சர் இருந்தாலும் அதோடைய பிரஷர் வந்து அங்க அதிகமா இருக்கிறதுனால, அந்த அதிகமா பிரஷர் இருக்கிறதுனால, அந்த மேட்டல் கோரோட பிரஷர் இருக்கிறதுனால அந்த பிரஷர் அதை நல்லா வந்து பிடிச்சு சாலிடாவே வச்சிருக்கே தவிர அதை வந்து லிக்விடா மாத்தல. நல்லா புரிஞ்சுங்க. ஒரு இது வந்து அதாவது ஒரு இது லிக்விடா மாறுதா இல்லையாங்கிறது அங்க எவ்வளவு டெம்பரேச்சர் நம்ம கொடுக்குறோங்கிறத பொறுத்து இருக்கு. சோ coming to the inner core is having the highest temperature. But it is having much more pressure than the outer core because outer core is also at the head of inner core. Okay, so get my point clearly. It will be somewhat confusing, but please listen to it clearly. Inner core is having the highest temperature. At that temperature, it should be converted into a liquid. Actually, at that temperature, it should be converted into liquid. But the full pressure of outer core and the mantle, the full pressure of outer core and the mantle is not making it to convert into liquid. Rather, it is just clubbing it into a solid structure. Clear? Outer core is having the higher temperature from the inner core. Outer core is having a higher temperature from the inner core, and it is having a pressure from the mantle. But the pressure, rather than comparing the pressure, I'll just give you an equation type. Okay, first take it down. Outer core. First take it down. Outer core. Here in outer core. Temperature is higher. temperature is higher. In outer core, temperature is higher. Okay, but coming to the pressure, the pressure is lower because it is having only pressure கொஞ்சம் கம்மியா தான் இருக்கு. ஏன்னு கேட்டா அது தலையில mantle மட்டும் தான் இருக்கு. ஓகேவா? இந்த pressure, at this pressure, with this temperature, it is converted into a liquid stage. At this pressure and with this temperature, it is converted. Actually, at this highest pressure, it should have converted into a liquid. In the highest, sorry. At this highest temperature, it should have converted into a liquid. இந்த அதிகபட்சமான வெப்பநிலைக்கு அது வந்து ஒரு லிக்விட் மாறி, அது ஒரு மோல்டன் ஸ்டேட்டுக்கு மாறி இருக்கணும். ஆக்சுவலா மாறி இருக்கணும். At this highest temperature, it should have converted into liquid. But because of the high pressure of entire outer core and mantle, because of the high pressure of entire outer core and mantle, it has not converted into a liquid. Rather than it is being as a solid state itself. Because of the highest pressure, it is not converted into a liquid. It is being in the stage of solid only. That is, the inner core is only solid. So outer core is liquid because of the highest temperature. To be a single line, outer core is liquid because of the higher temperature. Inner core is solid because of the higher pressure. This is the final conclusion what we'll be getting. That is, outer core is liquid because of the higher temperature. Inner core is solid because of the highest pressure. Clear up to this? Now shoot your doubts. What actually pressure means? அப்பா முடியலப்பா, எல்லாத்தையும் சொல்லி முடிச்சு கடைசியில வந்து pressure என்னன்னு கேக்குறீங்க. Okay, pressure is nothing but, brother, consider this mouse. Okay, I think you will be seeing this mouse. Okay, consider this mouse. I'm just keeping load of material on above this mouse. Means all this materials above this mouse is nothing but the pressure on the mouse. That's all. To be simple, the loads of materials, that is, we know that Earth is made up of materials of 6,000 kilometers. This loads of materials of material of mantle, material of outer core is on our inner core. This is nothing but the pressure. Pressure is nothing but Tamil அழுத்தம்னு சொல்லுவோம். Pressure is nothing but the force of the material. If I am keeping on, that is, if I am just keeping my hand, it is a pressure of some newtons. We can say it is a pressure of some newtons. After that, if I am keeping some books of this much height on this mouse, it will be holding the pressure of all these books. So pressure is nothing but how much materials and how much force we are giving it. Okay. In geographic term, yes, in geographic term, it is the same thing. That is, in geographic term, it is because of material medium. How much material medium is giving it? For example, consider that if you are going in a swimming pool, how many of you have gone to a swimming pool? Yes, Sikandar, you are right. Yes, Sikandar. Jasima Sikandar, you are right. How many of us have you gone to a swimming pool? Nobody? Anyone? Yes. Okay. So you might have gone to swimming pool. How many of you? Okay. So how many of you have gone to in depth into a sea? How many of you have gone to, that is, dived in depth into the sea? Anybody? I'm asking. Sea. No. Okay. So when you are swimming in a swimming pool. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So when you are swimming, that is, when you are going in depth into a swimming pool, consider that the swimming pool is so there are many swimming pools. That is, there are many swimming pools. They will be arranged in this order of that is, they will be arranged in the order of their depth level. Okay, the swimming pools will be arranged in the order of depth level. Consider this is for depth level 1, depth level 2, depth level 3. When we are going from depth level 1 to 3, when a person is going from depth level 1 to 3, then here, if he is in this depth level, he will be holding the water bodies of all this in his head. He will be having much more pressure. But when he is in the depth level 2, he will be having water bodies of this much only. Then he will be having pressure somewhat lighter than the depth level of 3. Can you attribute that? You can relate with that. Okay, so this is the thing, how the pressure is affected in the outer core and the inner core. Consider that the level of 3 is the inner core, level of 2 will be the outer core. So the pressure of inner core is much more higher than the pressure of outer core. Okay, like this only we are relating that. This is the pressure geographically what we are saying. Okay, is the full outer core in liquid form? Yes, The outer core is of fully liquid form. So coming from top to bottom, you just give me the answer. Crust, solid or liquid? Crust, solid or liquid? Just give me the answer. Coming from top to bottom, solid or liquid? Solid. Yes, solid. Okay, thank you. Yes, solid. Okay, thank you. Super. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Asthenosphere. Don't say it as liquid. Semi-solid. Yes, super. Don't say it as liquid. Say it as semi-solid. So only I didn't ask either solid or liquid. Asthenosphere solid in solid or liquid. Asthenosphere, don't say it as solid or liquid. It is always semi-solid. That is the reason why we are calling it a semi-solid. It will be covered in our later classes. Don't worry. It is a okay. Super. Asthenosphere completed. Then mantle. Solid. Yes, solid. Super. Yes, solid. Super. Okay, super. Then outer core. Liquid. Yes, liquid. Outer core liquid. Don't say it as solid. Outer core liquid. Okay, super. Inner core. Solid. Super. Okay. This is a repeated UPSC prelims question. Okay. Okay, then why mantle isn't solid? The pressure is low in mantle when compared to outer core. Yes, super, Ahmed. Your question is right. The pressure is low in mantle compared to outer core. Likewise, the temperature is very lower. It is not able to convert into a liquid. Clear? Since the pressure is also lower, the temperature is very lower than the outer core. It is not able to convert into a liquid. Hence, mantle is in solid state. Okay. So to come to our conclusion, keep it in mind, in our entire interior of Earth, there are two different special persons. In our entire interior of the Earth, there are two different special persons. One person is named as asthenosphere. There are two different special persons. One person is named as asthenosphere, and another one person is named as outer core. These two are the special persons. The asthenosphere we'll be calling it as semi-solid, and outer core we'll be calling it as liquid. So apart from these two special persons, all other persons are normal persons. They are solid only. That's all. Keep this in mind. You will be able to answer any questions from this area. Clear? There are only two different special persons. Okay. How mantle will say as a solid? Because mantle consists of asthenosphere, which is semi-solid. That is what initially I said. That is what initially I said. Okay, coming here. That's what initially I said. That is see here. See this slide. Okay, that is asthenosphere is having the radioactive material of you consider here asthenosphere is only 100 kilometers. 100 kilometer material. Asthenosphere is nothing but some 100 kilometer material. Okay, is some 100 kilometer material. Mantle is of some 3000 kilometer material. Okay, mantle is of some 3000 kilometer material. The radioactive decay, the temperature of radioactive decay is capable of making the 100 kilometer material of asthenosphere into a semi-solid only, not even into a liquid state. அதாவது மேண்டல்ல இருந்து வரக்கூடிய ரேடியோஆக்டிவ் டீகேவால வெறும் 100 கிலோமீட்டர் கம்மியா இருக்கக்கூடிய அஸ்மோஸ்பியரை செமி சாலிடா மாத்த மட்டும்தான் அதுக்கு டெம்பரேச்சர் பவரே இருக்கு. But mantle is of 3000 kilometer material. The radioactive decay from the mantle is not capable of its temperature is not capable of converting the 3000 kilometer mantle into a liquid state. That is the reason why atmosphere is a semi-solid, whereas mantle is a solid. Clear? If they ask interior layers range of distance between layers, no, they will not ask the distance. It is a distance differs from place to place. That is, we are speaking from Himalaya or we are speaking from Pacific Ocean. It differs. So they will not be asking the distance. That is the range of distance. For range of distance, I am just telling you for your explanation, for your understanding only. Okay. Clear, Jainab? Any doubts? Okay. So this is on repeated question. So I think we have covered some 1 hour time period. So you'll be getting having some quiz right now up to this. You'll be having a quiz from geography up to this what I have taught in this 1 hour. Okay, admin, please post the quiz. You'll be getting the quiz chat box. Please attend it, and after that, we will continue with the session. Crust consists of what type solid? What type நீங்க என்ன கேட்க வரீங்க? சாலிட்னு ஜெனரலா சொல்லலாம். அதுல டிஃபரெண்ட் சாலிட் இருக்குமா? அதுல வந்து அதாவது மினரல்ஸ் நம்ம சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, அந்த எல்லா மினரல்ஸுமே அதுல இருக்கு. Two special thing is nothing but asthenosphere and outer core. Special thing நான் சொல்றது எதுக்குன்னா ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கிறதுக்காக, எக்ஸாம் ஹால்ல வந்து டிஃபரன்ஷியேட் பண்ணி ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கிறேன். I'm just telling the special thing only for just keeping it in mind only. Okay, to answer the question easy, there are two special things. That is yes, soil comes in crust. Yes, Mahidin Fatima, you are right, soil comes in crust only. Okay, so asthenosphere, I'll just rub it and I will write it again. Here, asthenosphere and keep it in mind, asthenosphere and outer core. Apart from these two persons, asthenosphere and outer core, apart from these two persons, all other thing will be solid only. Asthenosphere will be semi-solid. Okay, semi-solid. Outer core will be liquid. That's all. Just keep this in mind. You will be able to answer any question out of this area. That's all. That is what I said, a special thing. Just to keep it in mind. Nothing other than that. Admin, please post the quiz link. The first question is, which of the following statements are correct? Mantle is a solid structure which also has the asthenosphere. Yes, this is right. Mantle is a solid structure. Here they have given two important keywords. Mantle is solid. Yes. So we have to first think of either mantle is solid or not. Yes, mantle is solid. Solid structure. Which is also has asthenosphere. Is the asthenosphere is within the mantle? Yes. Asthenosphere, we always call it as a part of upper mantle or mantle itself. So the statement 1 is right. Yes, okay. Outer core is solid, whereas the inner core is liquid. Is it so? Is the outer core is solid and the inner core is liquid? Is it so? Is it so? The outer core is solid and the inner core is liquid? No. Only outer core is liquid and inner core is solid. So this is what we learned right now. So the statement 2 will be wrong. So here option A1 only will be coming. Okay. So it is about the first question. And the second question is nothing but the order of preference, that is from top to bottom. From top to bottom, we will be having lithosphere, then mesosphere, outer core and inner core. Somebody of you have asked about whether either the mesosphere and the mantle are same. Actually, mantle comprises of here, the mantle comprises of both mantle plus asthenosphere. Mantle comprises of both mantle plus asthenosphere. But you can see in the picture that mesosphere consists of only mantle part without the asthenosphere. Can you see that? Mesosphere consists of mantle part only without the asthenosphere. But for our question, coming from top to bottom, lithosphere, mesosphere, outer core and inner core. Sometimes they may ask, even include atmosphere itself in this. So if they are including atmosphere, we have to take atmosphere, then lithosphere, then when the mantle, we can say mantle or mesosphere, then we can say outer core, then inner core. Likewise, we can go up to this. Okay. So clear up to this? Clear up to this? Clear up to this? Yes. Okay. So coming back to some of your doubts, one of you have asked us. Mesosphere means mantle, that I have already said. When P wave hits the other side of the earth, will it affect? It depends on how much energy it is coming. It may affect, it may not. If you think, for example, I will give you an example. The year is 2000 or 2001. It is an earthquake that hit in our Lahore, Gujarat area. That is it is the foothills of our Himalayan area. It comes in under our Himalayan belt only. Okay, Lahore and Gujarat area. It's 2000 or 2001, I think so. In that time period, in that earthquake, its tremors has been. It was a huge earthquake. It has a huge earthquake in India at that time period, and its tremor has been felt in many places. Its tremors has been felt in many places. So to be precise, if the earthquake is very huge, we may feel the tremor in even other part of the earth itself. Because of the P waves, we may feel the tremor in the other parts of the earth itself. But if it is a very lighter earthquake, we may not feel it. So it depends on which earthquake, how much energy of wave is coming up. Okay, hair can be converted into diamond by high pressure, but high pressure, there are many things in it. No, friend, there are many things in that. We cannot directly attribute it, but it can be converted if we are going under a nuclear reaction. Okay. Okay. Any other doubts up to this? Yes. Mantle equal to asthenosphere plus upper mantle plus mesosphere. We can say like that. Brief explanation of crust. Crust அவ்வளவு explanation தேவையில்லையே. என்ன கேக்குறீங்க? Crust is nothing but the solid area where we are habitating. That is, it may consist of soil, sand. Then after some soil bed, some 1 kilometer of soil bed, we'll be having some rock structures or big stones. After that, we will be having water bodies, what we are call as what we will be calling it as groundwater. That is, we are taking we are making the bore and we are taking all this water from it. After that, we will be having some aquifers. Aquifers are the recharges of water. It is again a water structure that is, it will be having the recharge of water. After that, it will be having some big rock structures. Then at the last, we will be going into asthenosphere area. Okay, all these things comprise of some 5 kilometer to 10 kilometer area. That's all. It is the crust part. Nothing other than that. From our surface to some 5 to 10 kilometer part is called as the crust part. Okay. Sir, you said lithosphere comprises of crust and asthenosphere. Then how it is say as mantle, sir? We have not said that is lithosphere comprises of asthenosphere. Means asthenosphere is a part of upper mantle itself. Okay, so that is it is the junction of change between the asthenosphere to the mantle. Okay, so it is a junction of change. We can say that it is a change that is in each and every area. In mantle itself, we will be having some discontinuity. We will be seeing it that in future classes. Don't worry. So we will be having some discontinuity. It is nothing but the junction of change. அதாவது டக்குன்னு மெட்டீரியல் சேஞ்ச் ஆயிடாது. ஒரு மெட்டீரியல் இருந்து இன்னொரு மெட்டீரியல் சேஞ்ச் ஆகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு 10 கிலோமீட்டர் 20 கிலோமீட்டருக்கு ஒரு டிஸ்கண்டினியூட்டின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. That is, we will be calling geographically it as discontinuity. This discontinuity is nothing but that is the material change from one area to other areas. That is from one medium to other medium, from asthenosphere to mantle. Likewise, we are calling it as the lithosphere is having the upper mantle area of asthenosphere. After that, mantle is coming. But asthenosphere, it is already included in mantle itself. So we are differentiating it as lithosphere and mantle. Okay. So don't confuse with that. It is a layer as we go from upper to lower only. Okay. Clear? So I think we can go to the other part. So before going into other part, take it down your topic as tsunami. Take it down your topic as tsunami. Any idea how tsunamis are caused? Any idea how tsunamis are caused? Any idea how tsunamis are caused? Or what is the meaning of the term tsunami? Waves. Only waves? Waves is correct. Only waves. Due to P waves? No. I will come to that. Because of plates, earthquake, super huge waves, moving of tectonic plates, super harbor waves. Yes, harbor waves is right. Tectonic plates moving, yes, okay. Earthquake inner in ocean, yes, super. Movement in tectonic plates. It's a Japanese word, yes, it's a Japanese word, super. Surface waves. It's not yes, we can relate to surface waves. Yes, waves caused by earthquake. Okay, super. Okay, super. So the term tsunami means harbor waves. Harbor waves. The term tsunami means harbor waves. Before we go into it, geographically, please differentiate the. Please tell me the difference between tides and I will come to it. Landslide. Landslide. Yes, landslide within the ocean. Yes, we can attribute like that. Okay. Please, before completing, that is before going into tsunami, please differentiate tides and waves. Anybody? What is the difference between, or what is the similarity between tides and waves? Tamil oda sollalam. Tide ku Tamil la enna, waves ku Tamil la enna? Tides have more height. Yes, super. Tide is because of moon and sun. Super, very good, Yusuf. Yes, Jainab. Yes, super. Tides rise and fall of seawater. Yes, super. Waves are high tides or small waves. Illa, tappu. மைதீன் பாத்திமா இல்ல அப்படி கிடையாது. Tides are on the floor of the ocean regularly. Yes. Caused due to gravitational pull of moon. Yes, super. ஓதங்கள் அலைகள். அலைகள் tides means அலைகள். அப்ப waves என்னது? Tides அலைகள்னா waves என்னது? Tides are biggest waves. கிடையாது. No, tides are not biggest waves. We have been thinking like that only because of some movies, but actually it is not like that. Okay. So some of you have given the perfect answers. I'll explain it. Don't worry. So wave is nothing but waveங்கிறதா நம்ம அலைகள் அப்படி சொல்றது. Waves is nothing but what we are seeing in a waves one direction, tides move back and forth. No, not like that. Wave. Okay, I will come to it. Okay, I will come to it. Don't worry. Yes, you are right, Jainab. Waves caused by winds. Okay, waves are caused by the movement of wind on the ocean. Okay, so okay. Thank you. I will come to it. Don't worry. Okay, I will come to it. Don't worry. Okay. Answer பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க நம்ம பசங்க. Okay, so waves are caused by the movement of, that is the movement of wind on the ocean floor. That is, consider that sea is there. The wind moves like this. If a wind moves like that, it makes the sea to, that is, it makes the water body to move, and it makes the waves. Okay, so waves அப்படி நம்ம சொல்றது அலைகள். Okay, that is what we are watching in the beach. When we are going to the beach and we'll be seeing the waves, it is nothing but the waves. But tide is actually the rise and fall of water. That is, if it is a water body, the water body will be rising like that, and it for some 3 hours, and after that it will fall down after 3 hours. That is, waves or tides are, this is tide. Okay, tide is because of gravitational pull of sun and moon. Consider that this is earth, and it is having some I'll draw it again. Okay, consider that this is earth, and it is having water body like that. It is having water body like that, not this much huge. Let us consider that it is having water body like that. Okay, for our not this much huge, for our example I am just telling. Okay, so water body like that, because of the gravitational attraction of sun and moon. Because of the gravitational attraction of sun and moon, what happens is that this water body will be just attracted by the sun and moon like this. This water body will be attracted by the sun and moon. Because of this attraction, that is gravity, so not attraction, gravitational pull. Because of the gravitational pull of sun and moon, this water body will be pulled like that. And this pulling affects, this pulling can be seen as a form of the water will be rising like that for 3 hours, and it will be coming down. This is called as tide. Tide is not a wave. Please remember that tide is not a wave. Tideங்கிறது அலைகள் கிடையாது. Tide is not a wave. It is caused because of gravitational pull of sun and moon. But waves are caused because of the movement of wind. Okay, keep this in mind before going into tsunami. I think this will be clear for you now. So coming back to tsunami, what is happening is that no brother, moon is having a gravitational force. Its gravitational force is lighter than the earth, but it is also having a gravitational force, and it is affecting our tide. Moon is we cannot say that moon is not having a gravitational force. Its gravitational force is lighter than the earth, but it is not capable of just pulling the entire earth. It is just capable of pulling our water bodies alone. Okay, it is that much capable. Okay, so coming back to tsunami, what is happening in tsunami is that consider this as our land area. Consider this as our land area, and water is there like this. Okay, water is there like this. So if when this water body is there, is here like this, and consider this as a ocean. This is a huge ocean, and this might be one continent, and this might be another continent. Okay, we are thinking, we are imagining that because of some earthquake, because of some earthquake or because of some fault. What we already seen in our seismic waves. The seismic waves are caused because of some fault only. So likewise, because of some earthquake, something is happening, and it is what it is making is that it is because of some earthquake here, because of some earthquake in the interior of the continent. This is our land area. Okay, this is our land area. This is our land area, and this is the ocean part. This is the ocean part. This is our sea part. So some earthquake is happening in this area. Some earthquake is happening in this area. Because of that earthquake, some land has been pulled like this. The land has been sometimes land has been pushed up or pulled down. Sometimes land has been maybe pushed up like this, or it may be pulled down like this. It may be pulled down like this. Some fault may occur. So what first consider that some pulling down has occurred. So if a pulling down has that is some huge hole has like a huge hole. One hole has been created. What happens is that this water bodies will be running towards the hole. This water body will be running towards the hole. When this water body will be running towards the hole, all the pressure from these water bodies will be thinking of running towards the hole because of this hole. A hole is created for some small area, and all this water body will be thinking of running towards the hole. At that time period, when the water body is running towards the hole, at that time period, in our beach area, when we are standing in a beach area, we can see that if we see that there will be reduction of water bodies. That is, the water bodies will be going somewhat lower. The water bodies will be going somewhat lower. But think that all this ocean body is going into that hole, and when they reach that hole, because of their pressure, they will be, because of Newton's third law, as we see in Newton's third law, they'll be reflected back, because the hole is very small. But the huge water body is going towards the hole is very small, they'll be reflected back, and they'll be coming to the shore as a huge powerful waves, and it will affect the shore as a tsunami, that is harbor waves. They will affect the shore as a huge waves as a harbor waves. Tsunami can be technically called when the height of the wave is more than 12 meters. Tsunami can be technically called when the height of the wave is more than 12 meters. Clear up to this? கடல் உள்வாங்கியதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்களே அதுவா சார்? எஸ், அதுதான். தமிழ்ல சொல்றேன் கேட்டுக்கோங்க. கீழே வந்து ஒரு சின்ன ஹோல் விழுந்துருச்சு. சின்ன ஹோல் விழுந்த உடனே என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு அப்படின்னா, மொத்த தண்ணி அந்த ஹோலை நோக்கி போகுது. அப்ப தண்ணிக்கு வந்து தெரியல, அது சின்ன ஹோல் தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது. மொத்த தண்ணியும் அந்த ஹோல், திடீர்னு ஒரு ஹோல் விழுந்துச்சா ஒரு வேக்கம் மாதிரி, அதனால மொத்த தண்ணியும் அந்த ஹோலை நோக்கி ஓடுது. அததான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம்னா கடல் உள்வாங்கிருச்சு அப்படிங்கிறோம். அந்த டிஃபரன்ஸ் வந்து ஒரு 3 மணி நேரம் டிஃபரன்ஸ் சொல்றாங்க. 3 மணி நேரம் கடல் உள்வாங்கி போன மாதிரி இருக்கும். ஆனா அந்த மொத்த தண்ணி உள்ள போனாலும் மொத்த தண்ணி நிறைய அளவுக்கு அந்த ஹோல் இல்லை. அப்ப என்ன ஆயிடும், போன ஸ்பீடுக்கு அத்தனையும் எல்லாமே வந்து திரும்ப ரிப்பீட் ஆகுது. போன ஸ்பீடுக்கு திரும்ப ரிட்டர்ன் ஆன உடனே அது மொத்தமா வந்து பவர்ஃபுல்லா வந்து ஹார்பர்ல அடிக்குது. அதுதான் நம்ம சுனாமின்னு சொல்றோம். Sir, is the hole is created due to tectonic plate movement? Yes, the hole is created due to tectonic plate movements. We will cover tectonic plate movements in our next class. Don't worry. We will cover that in our next class. Don't worry. If fold occurs, what happens? Yes. Then another. This is one instance. Then another one instance. What will happen is that because of some fault, sometimes So consider this as the land area. Okay. So because of earthquake, sometimes what happened is that some land area may projected upward. When the land area projected upward, though the land area has projected upward, it makes the water here when the folding is occurring, we will not be able to see the inward movement of sea for much time period. When the folding is occurring, the inward movement of actually the role of tide and wave is not related with tsunami. To differentiate tsunami from tides and waves, I just gave details about it. Okay, regarding tides and waves, we will be covering it in oceanography. Don't worry. Just to have a glance about difference between tsunami, tides, waves. எல்லாத்தையும் போட்டு கன்ஃபியூஸ் பண்ணிட கூடாதுங்கறதுக்காக தான் டைட்னா என்ன வேவ்னா என்னன்னு சொன்னேன். அதுக்கு இதுக்கு சம்பந்தம் இல்ல. அதை நீ அப்படி திங்க் பண்ண வேணாம். ஓகே, அதுக்கு இதுக்கு இங்க ரோல் எதுவும் இல்ல. Why their intensity is not seen in the mid of the sea? That is a super question. Because I will redraw it again. This is the water body. A tsunami is occurred. A tsunami is occurred in the mid of the sea. Consider that tsunami is occurred. Tsunami is occurred somewhat here. Tsunami is occurred somewhat in the mid of the sea, and it has resulted in the water bodies. It has resulted in the water bodies to move in much force. But when the water bodies are moving in a much force, when the water bodies are moving in a much force, their energy is being transformed from one wave to another. Their energy is being transformed from one wave to another. Hence, if a huge ship is there in the middle of the sea, if a huge ship is there in the middle of the sea, the ship will just float for sometimes. That's all. It will not have any destruction. The ship will just float for sometimes, because the energy of the waves is being transformed from one wave to another. And when it is being transformed from one wave to another, the energy is being building. The energy is being building up. But when it reaches the shore, there will be no. When it reaches the shore, it is hitting the land area. When it is hitting the land area, there is no wave to transform the energy again. Hence, it just bulges as a huge wave itself, and it results in tsunami. Okay, that is, அது கடல்ல இருக்கும்போது அந்த எனர்ஜியை அதுக்குள்ளேயே வந்து அடுத்தடுத்து வேவா வந்து எனர்ஜியை டிரான்ஸ்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணிட்டு தான் இருக்கு. அப்படி பண்றதுனால கடலுக்கு நடுவுல நம்ம ஒரு கப்பல் வச்சு நின்னாலோ, இல்ல ஒரு பெரிய கப்பலோ, இல்ல ஒரு நார்மல் கப்பலோ வச்சு நம்ம கடலுக்கு நடுவுல நின்னோம்னா சுனாமியால நமக்கு எந்த பிரச்சனையுமே கிடையாது. கடலுக்கு நடுவுல நம்ம நிக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னா நமக்கு ஜஸ்ட் ஒரு ஆட்டம் மட்டும் தான் காட்டும். அப்படியே அது ஃப்ளோல போகும்போது ஒரு ஆட்டம் மட்டும் தான் காட்டும். ஆனா அந்த எனர்ஜி வந்து ஒரு வேவ்ல இருந்து இன்னொரு வேவுக்கு அப்படியே டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர். நீங்க கடல்ல வேவ் பார்த்துருப்பீங்க, இப்படியே வந்துகிட்டே இருக்கும். அதோட அர்த்தம் என்னன்னா, அந்த எனர்ஜி டிரான்ஸ்பர் ஆகி அந்த தண்ணியை தூக்கி இறக்குதுன்னு அர்த்தம். அங்கிருந்து தண்ணி வரும்போது அந்த எனர்ஜி அப்படியே டிரான்ஸ்பர் பண்ணிட்டே வருது. சோ அந்த எனர்ஜி அப்படியே டிரான்ஸ்பர் பண்ணிட்டு வரும்போது தண்ணி இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் எனர்ஜியை டிரான்ஸ்பர் பண்ணி கொண்டு வந்துகிட்டே இருக்கும். பட் ஃபைனலா எப்ப தண்ணி இல்லையோ அங்க ஹிட் பண்ணும்போது தான் மொத்தத்தையும் இறக்குறேங்கிற பேர்ல ஒரு பெரிய ஹியூஜ் வேவ் பெரிய அலையா வர்றது. அது 12 மீட்டருக்கு மேல வரும். அது நமக்கு சுனாமியா காசு ஆகுது. கிளியர் அப் டு திஸ்? Clear up to this? Sir, tsunami are more severe than earthquake because they influence this huge ocean. Yes, tsunami is more severe than we are seeing. Tsunami is more severe than earthquake because of the reason is that the area covered from earthquake, when an earthquake is occurring, consider that an earthquake of 8 Richter scale is occurring in a land area. Its destruction will be up to say 100 kilometers. But if a tsunami of 8 Richter scale is occurring in a ocean, underneath the ocean, it can cover destruction up to some 1,000 kilometers. So the destruction of tsunami, it will destruct the entire borders of. Just consider this map. Consider this our map. We know that the Indonesian tsunami occurred somewhat here, okay, somewhat in this area. The Indonesian tsunami, that is the earthquake of Indonesian tsunami, occurred in somewhat this area. But its destruction was even seen in India, that is in Tamil Nadu. Its destruction was even seen in India, in the Bay of Bengal, even after some thousands of kilometers. So since tsunami is capable of covering thousands of kilometers, because of the reason that, consider that if an earthquake of is being occurred in this area between South America and Africa, if an earthquake is being occurred in this area, what will happen is that the energy will be transformed from these oceans until it reaches both the shores. The energy will be transformed. The energy is just transformed. It will not affect the mid-sea. It will not affect the mid-sea, but it is being transformed, and it will only affect when it reaches the shore. So tsunami is capable of reaching thousands of kilometers, but earthquake will be for some 100 kilometers only. Hence tsunami is seen as much more destructive than earthquake. How roughness of sea occurs? Roughness of sea is ரொம்ப கம்மியாதமா. Roughness of sea will be very little when a tsunami is occurring. How tsunami is recorded? Tsunami is recorded based on special devices are there to record tsunami. It is not in the land. Tsunamis are not recorded in the land. Tsunamis are recorded based on the energy transformation in the wave. Tsunami meters are being hanged in the ocean itself. India has designed our own tsunami meter, which have been designed by our ex-president Dr. APJ. It has been designed by him, and it is being hanged in our that is it, sorry, it is being floated in our ocean. We have floated tsunami meters in ocean, and when the wave is coming, the tsunami meter calculates the energy in the wave, and with that the tsunami is being measured. Okay, clear? In mining, how much distance they dig? Up to some 200 feet or 300 feet. That's all. It is much more. 200 and 300 feet is much more, friend. Mining that much only they can dig. 200 feet at 300 feet. Consider it as a meter, means it will be some 100 meter. We can attribute to 100 meter. Okay. அந்த ரிசல்ட்லாம் அப்புறம் பாத்துக்கலாம். இப்ப படிக்கிற வேலையை பாருங்க. 2020 எக்ஸாம் இருக்கு. ஓகே. Which affects more in tsunami? Regarding convergent divergence, I will come to it. Don't worry. Regarding convergent divergence, I will come to it. Any doubts up to this? Clear? So just watch time interval between the travel from sea to shore. It differs. It differs now. In which area it is occurring. If it is occurring in much more in depth, the time will be more. If it is occurring much, that is considered that in 2004 tsunami. In 2004 tsunami, it hit the Indonesian seafloor very earlier than Indian seafloor, because that tsunami area of occurrence was nearer to Indonesian border. So it hit the Indonesian seafloor very immediately than the Indian seafloor, because it is much a distance from the Indian border. So it differs based on where it is occurring. Okay, so just see this video. Will it move equal in all directions? Yes, it will move equal in all directions. Yes, there is one. It will move equal in all directions based on its energy level. Okay. Clear? Clear up to this? Clear up to this? Any doubts? Clear up to this? Regarding volcano, we have seen earthquake and tsunami. Regarding volcano is a data part. Just read it in chapter 3. Just a minute. In Fundamentals of Physical Geography, read the volcano part in chapter 3. If you have any doubts, ask me in the next class. I will explain it. Chapter 3, interior of earth. Under unit 2, the earth, there is a chapter 3, interior of the earth. Read that chapter next class. In the sense, I am telling about the next after this foundation class. லாஸ்ட் கிளாஸ்ங்கிறது ஃபவுண்டேஷனுக்காக சொன்னேன். அதுக்கப்புறம் வரும்போது ஜாகிரபி இதோட ஜாகிரபி முடிஞ்சிச்சா கண்டினியூ பண்ணணும்ல, அப்ப பண்ணும்போது சொல்றேன். ஓகேவா? So interior of earth, chapter 3, interior of earth. Read the volcano part. It is given in our 11th standard NCERT. What are the books needed apart from NCERT? முதல்ல NCERT படிச்சுட்டு வாங்க. தயவு செஞ்சு முதல்ல NCERT படிச்சுட்டு வாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன தேவை நான் சொல்றேன். ஏன்னா இப்ப நான் அதை சொன்னேன்னா நீங்க அதுக்கு ஓடுவீங்களே தவிர NCERT படிக்க மாட்டீங்க. முதல்ல NCERT first, please complete the NCERT. Please complete the NCERT. After come to me and ask me, I will tell you. Okay. You have completed the NCERT, Yusuf? If so, tell me in the chat. If you have completed the 6th to 12th NCERT, or else the 11th and 12th NCERT of geography, then tell me in a private chat. I will tell you what all the books you have to read privately. Yes, the whole is WHOL, HOLE. Whole is also called as fault in yes, whole is also called as a fault in geographically. Geographically, the earthquake term, it is a fault. FAULT, fault only. Yes, right. Tell me the book, because we bought the book. Book வாங்குனீங்கற காலம் book சொல்லுமா? ஓகேமா, வாங்குனங்கறக்கா கேக்குறாங்க. நியாயமான கேள்விதான். சரி. So apart from NCERT, please buy this Gocheng Liang. Apart from NCERT, please buy this 11th and 12th NCERT. Okay, அதான் ஆன்சர் போட்டேனே. எல்லாரும் அதே பாத்துக்கலாம். Gocheng Liang. Okay, buy this Gocheng Liang book. It is much needed, but don't read Gocheng Liang right now. Gocheng Liang is only needed for our climatology. I will be telling you where to read for Gocheng Liang from after while coming to climatology. Okay, so 11th and 12th NCERT அத முதல்ல படிங்க. படிச்சிட்டு அதுக்கு அப்புறம் Gocheng Liangல எங்க படிக்கணும்ங்கறத நான் சொல்றேன். Maps நான் yes, map. Regarding map வந்து எந்த மேப் வாங்குறதுனா ஸ்டூடெண்ட் அட்லஸ், ஓரியன்ட் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் அட்லஸ். ஸ்கூல் அட்லஸ் இல்லமா, ஸ்கூல் அட்லஸ் வாங்காதீங்க. Don't buy school atlas. Don't buy school atlas. Please buy student atlas only. கிடைச்சதுன்னா இந்த மேப் வாங்கிக்கிறீங்க, அது இதா இருக்கும். Map classes will be covered later on. That is after going into climatology, because map classes, if we are reading map classes with climatology, it will be very easy for us only. Okay, coming back to our class. So this is the structure of the earth. Okay, just a minute, ma'am. Oh, your optional is geography. If you are no, for geography these are not enough. For optional geography these books are not enough. This is what I'm telling is for prelims and mains only. For optional geography, don't worry, it will be covered by your optional, that is the staff who is staff, because from each and every person it differs. Okay, if I'm telling it, then it will be in my view. For optional geography, please ask to your staff who is handling optional geography subject. Okay, you will be having, I think you'll be having optional classes later on after this foundation course. So please ask to him or her, please ask to them, and they will be guiding you in that way. Okay, for optional geography, these books are not enough. You have to go much more than that, but let them give you details about it, because if I am giving details about it, then it will be a mismatch. Okay, so my angle of study will be different and their angle of study will be different. So that's only. Regarding Shahabuddin, நான் வந்து டிஎன் போர்டு அட்ரஸ் நான் இது வரைக்கும் பார்த்தது இல்ல. நான் ஒரு தடவை பாத்துக்கிறேன், அது ஓகேவா நான் பார்த்துட்டு நான் வேணா நெக்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ்ல சொல்றேன். நான் இது வரைக்கும் அதை பார்த்தது இல்ல. முடிஞ்சதுன்னா நீங்க ஸ்டூடெண்ட் அட்ரஸ் வாங்குறது நல்லது. எதுக்கு நான் ஒரு தடவை அதை நான் பாத்துக்கிறேன், நான் அந்த அட்ரஸ் நான் பார்த்தது இல்ல. ஓகேவா, தேங்க்யூ. Okay, coming back to our class, the lithosphere. Yes, the lithosphere, that is the lithosphere structure. The lithosphere structure consists of, consider that the lithosphere, after foundation class you have to contact the class admin. They will be guiding you the process, don't worry. ஃபவுண்டேஷன் கிளாஸ், ஃபியூச்சர் கிளாஸ்லாம் வந்து கிளாஸ்ல இருந்து உங்களுக்கு கைட் பண்ணுவாங்க. ஓகேவா, அந்த டைம்ல அவங்க எப்படி கைட் பண்றாங்களோ அந்த ப்ராசஸ் என்னன்னு அவங்க சொல்றாங்க, அதை ஃபாலோ பண்ணிக்கோங்க. நம்ம இப்ப கிளாஸுக்கு போகலாம், டைம் ஆகுது, இன்னும் 1/4 மணி நேரம் தான் இருக்கு, அதுக்குள்ள ஒரு விஷயத்தை முடிச்சாகணும். ஓகே, so coming back to our lithosphere structure. Okay, lithosphere structures, that is we'll be having continental plate. Just consider that we'll be having the continental plate area. We'll be having the continental plate and also the oceanic plate. The oceanic plate. Consider that if we are in for example, if we are in like this, if we are in a land area, consider this as a land area. Okay, and this is the water body. Consider this as the land area and this is the water body. Okay, this is the water body. So if this is the continental area, if this is called as continental area, the continental area is nothing but the term given to land area in continents. Okay, geographically this is a geographical term. Okay, geographically நம்ம லேண்ட்ல இருக்கோம் இல்லையா, நம்ம இருக்கக்கூடிய லேண்ட் ஏரியாஸ்ல the term land ஏரியாவுல இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த லேண்ட் ஏரியாஸ், நம்ம இருக்கக்கூடிய லேண்ட் ஏரியாக்கு கொடுக்கக்கூடிய டேர்ம் தான், லேண்ட் ஏரியாக்கு நம்ம கொடுக்கக்கூடிய டேர்ம் தான் என்னன்னா கான்டினென்டல் ஏரியா. ஓகேவா, நம்ம லேண்ட் இருக்கக்கூடிய லேண்ட் ஏரியாவுக்கு நம்ம கொடுக்கக்கூடிய டேர்ம் தான் கான்டினென்டல் ஏரியா. The term continental area denotes that geographically it is the land area. Likewise it is the ocean. Okay, likewise it is the ocean. It is the ocean or sea. It is the ocean or sea, water bodies. It is the ocean or sea. So the floor of this ocean, these areas, the floor of the ocean is called as, geographically the floor of the ocean is called as ocean floor. Ocean floor, or otherwise it is also called as oceanic continent. It is otherwise called as oceanic continent. So these areas are called as continental area. These areas are called as oceanic continent or ocean floor. So whenever in geography they are giving the term continental area or continent, it denotes only the land area, not the water bodies. Please keep it in mind. Whenever you are reading in NCERT or other books, whenever in geography they are giving the term continental area, they are denoting the continent only. If they are purposely denoting oceanic floor or oceanic continent, it denotes the land area below this ocean. It denotes the land area below this ocean. Okay, these are the two important terms. These are the two important terms what we will be seeing in geography while reading it. Okay, somebody has asked some doubts. இந்த டாபிக் இல்ல இது எல்லாமே இன்டீரியர் ஆஃப் எர்த்ல வர டாபிக் தான். இது என்ன டாபிக் நீ கேட்டிருக்காங்க, இது எல்லாமே இன்டீரியர் ஆஃப் எர்த்ல வர டாபிக் தான். இன்டீரியர் ஆஃப் எர்த்ல அடுத்த லெவல் போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு விஷயம் நம்ம தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும், அதுக்காக இந்த டேர்ம்ஸ் நான் சொல்றேன். ஓகேவா? So we are going to the very important topic in the that is and also the end of the topic in continental in our geomorphology, the end of the topic in our geomorphology. So I'm just revising you. Consider this. We started our class with geomorphology. We started our class, not this class, first class I'm telling. We started our class with geomorphology. In geomorphology, okay. So in geomorphology, we started with Big Bang. You all remember? We started with Big Bang. Then after that Big Bang, we saw the evolution of Earth. The evolution of Earth. After that, we saw the evolution of Earth. After evolution of Earth, we went to the interior of Earth. After evolution of Earth, we went to the interior of Earth. So from up to this, we have read. Up to this, this is the thing what we have completed. But after this, to complete the geomorphology, we have to learn something about the surface of Earth. We have to learn something about the surface of the Earth. Surface of the Earth. Okay. This is nothing but called as continental drift and plate tectonics. Continental drift and plate tectonics. Take it down the topic. Continental drift and plate tectonics. We can expect a mains question from this area, continental drift and plate tectonics. We can expect a mains question from this area. Okay, so this is a very important topic and also the end of the geomorphology topic. Very important. And after this, only small 2 minutes topic is there. Okay, so actually we will not be able to complete this topic in this class. If I am getting another one class in this foundation itself within this week or next week, if I am getting I don't know whether it is there or not. If I am getting another one class, I'll be able to complete the entire geomorphology. Or else, don't worry. After the foundation, we will be going on with this geomorphology. The process and all will be that is after foundation. The process will be explained to you by the class team. They will be explaining it to you. Okay. So coming back. So continental drift and plate tectonics. I have already given you the meaning of the term continental. Okay. Continental denotes the land area. It may be the land area, the land area mainly the land area what we are seeing. What is the meaning of the term drift? Any idea? What is the meaning of the term drift? What is the meaning of the term drift? Any idea? Curve, we cannot say it as curve. Change, yes, somewhat change. We can say it as change. Change, then moving, yes, moving, movement. We can tell it as a movement. Then just a minute, my okay, a leap or skip, pitch, sudden change, fro and back motion. Yes, all your answers are right. Yes, it is a movement. It is a movement. Drift is nothing but movement. Circle, circle அப்படினு சொல்லலாம். Yes. Or transfer, yes, drift. Yes, no, it's not differentiating. We are not related to differentiating the movement. That is the physical movement of land. Yes, the physical changes in land. Yes, super. The movement of land. Okay. So here, what movement we are seeing is that the movement of the entire land body. The movement of the entire land body. We are denoting it as continental drift. Okay. I'll just share you an video with you. What this movie is from? Many of you have already seen it. Yes, Ice Age. Yes. Yes. So the structure what we have seen. Yes. Thank you. Yes, Ice Age. Ice Age only. Okay. So the structure what we actually Don't compare the movie with our geography. Just for basic understanding, I'm giving you. But actually, the Earth has not come to this drift. And the Earth does not come to the structure as they have shown in the movie. We'll be reading it how it is. Okay. So the structure, how this has attained this particular structure, what we are calling it as North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia. These structures were initially a single landmass. These structures were just a single landmass, and out of the single landmass, they have been differentiated into these structures because of the thing what we are calling it as continental drift. Okay, because of the thing called continental drift. So we are going to see more things about continental drift, and these are related with the plate tectonics. Sir, this drift exists only on land area. Yes, this drift occurs on land area only, friend. But how the land area it is working, is just please see here. This is our irregular shape of our Earth. Okay, this is the irregular shape of our Earth. In this irregular shape of our Earth, we are having water body. We are having water body like that. This is the irregular shape of our Earth. In that irregular shape of our Earth, we are having water body like that. That though we are having ocean and water body, but below the ocean water body also, we are having the land mass. Yes or no? We are below the ocean water body also, we are having the land mass. So all these land mass will be having the drift. That is what we are calling it as continental drift. All this land mass will be having the continental drift, but in which area, how it is, and how it is occurring below the ocean, or how it is occurring in a normal land area, it differs from one area to another. Okay, clear? Can you please? Can you just? I have not gone into it because we are not having time for that. I'll be just covering this class in the next year, but in the next upcoming classes. But I'm just giving you basic details about continental drift. What is the meaning of continental drift? That's all. I'm just giving you the basic details of continental drift only. Clear? Clear, ma? Drift which make land mass different. That is yes. That we'll be covering in. That is what, how does it occurring, how it is causing, everything we are going to see in next class, because it is a full class. I'm just giving you a basic introduction about what is continental drift. That's all. How it is occurring, how it is how it is changing the entire Earth, that we will be covering in the entire class. Okay. So before winding up the class, we'll be just discussing last previous week test question. Definition for drift and statement on drift I will cover in the next class. Don't worry. Definition of drift I will cover it in the next class. Last class class admin last class quiz irundha konja share panna mudiyuma? Quiz irukka ungalta class admin? Last class la and weekly test quiz adu file and indoor system la irukku. Please share பண்ணுங்க. Those are having doubts and those who wish to discuss the last previous weekly test question alone, you can yes, last previous weekly test question, you can alone be in the class, others can leave more. Those are having doubt and those who wish to discuss the last weekly geography questions, I think some 8 or 10 questions, they can alone be here, others can leave the class. Any other doubts up to this class? Until they are sharing the question, I will be just discussing the doubts. If there is any possible magma comes out where the fold mountain occurs in under sea, yes, it is possible. Under the sea also, when a fault is occurring, magma may come outside, and it may result in volcanic eruption, or it may result in a mountain formation. It has already resulted in that. Okay. Formation of iceberg on sea, that will cover in climatology, don't worry. That will cover in climatology. Volcano, regarding active volcano, that all will be handling it in the coming classes, because it is related with continental drift. It relates with continental drift. Don't worry, I'll just cover that in our that is when we are covering the continental drift, we can see that. Okay, I'll be sharing right now. I'll be sharing you the previous class quiz so that we can discuss. Okay. Okay, so I think you'll be seeing the last week quiz. So first question, which of the following are correct paths with respect to the evolution of Earth? It is directly from our table. I think you might have remembered our table. So actually what they have asked is, they have given the order from the bottom to top, and also the order from the, that is the evolution, that is zoom it up. Is it clear now? Are you able to see it now? Is the zoom level okay? Okay. So which of the following are correct paths? So it is nothing but in the evolution of Earth. What this question is nothing but the evolution of Earth. We have gone from Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic, and we have just related with the what are all the evoluted important things. I have already said in that class. Please note down the important evoluted organisms, and again in that we can know that the evolution comes from water to the land. So fish, reptile, mammal. That is the evolution order. Fish, after that reptile, after that mammal. So also it is Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic. So there is all these three statements are correct only. So our answer is all the above. It's a direct question. Okay. Next one. The first multi-celled organism evolved during the period of, again, it's a very easy question. Precambrian. Here you should not choose the Cambrian, because multi-celled organism, first multi-celled, they have given the question as first multi-celled organism. It started in the Precambrian era itself. Which was the first multi-celled organism? Any idea? Which was the first multi-celled organism? Any idea? If you know it, please give me in the chat. Which is the first multi-celled organism to evolve? Algae. Yes, it's the answer. Algae is right. Blue-green algae. Yes, super. Yes, F Avinanas. Blue-green algae. Super. Okay, thank you. Blue-green algae. That's right. The first multi-celled organism is blue-green algae. Okay. Third question. Consider the following assertion and reason. The Earth has a strong magnetic field which acts as a blanket from the destruction of solar wind. Yes, the statement is right. Earth has a strong magnetic field which acts as a blanket from the destruction of solar winds. The Earth's magnetic poles are inverse with respect to the geographic poles. Yes, the Earth's magnetic, because geographically north is magnetically south. Geographically south is magnetically north. We already know it. So Earth's magnetic poles are inverse with respect to geographic poles. So both A and R are correct. R is the correct explanation, but we cannot say that R is the correct explanation of A, because these two are not related with each other. It's two different statements. It is not the explanation of first statement. So both A and R are correct, and R is not the correct explanation of A. Answer B is only correct. Okay. Earth has a magnetic, Earth ஒரு magnetic field இருக்கு, அது solar wind ல இருந்து தடுக்குது. அதே மாதிரி எர்த்தோட magnetic field magnetic poles இதோட geographical poles என்டையரா வெவ்வேறையா இருக்கு. அதனால அது ரெண்டு நம்ம வந்து இன்வர்ஸ் நம்ம சொல்லலாம். பட் இது ரெண்டுமே வந்து ரிலேட்டட் கிடையாது, ரெண்டு தனித்தனி ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட். சோ இட்ஸ் நாட் த கரெக்ட் எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன் தான் இங்க ஆன்சர் கரெக்ட். கிளியரா? இது வரைக்கும் கிளியரா? கிளியர் அப் டு திஸ்? கேன் வி கோ டு தி ஃபோர்த் क्वेश्चन? ஈஸியா தான் क्वेश्चन எடுத்துட்டேன், பயப்பட வேணாங்கறக்கா ஈஸியாவே தான் क्वेश्चन எடுத்துட்டேன். ஓகே, fourth one. The Earth's magnetic field interacts with solar wind and forms beautiful auroras. In this regard, aurora borealis is seen in North Pole. What is the term what we call for South Pole? What is the term what we call for South Pole? Aurora australis. It's not Austria. Australis. Aurora australis. Okay. Yes, Aurora australis. The term Aurora australis is for South Pole. I am just putting in the chat. Aurora sorry, that spelling is wrong. Aurora australis. Aurora australis is for Aurora australis is for South Pole. Okay, in North Pole it is Aurora borealis. Okay, super. Then consider the following statement. The point where the seismic wave first hits in the surface of the earth is known as epicenter. The point of origin of the seismic waves earthquake is known as hypocenter. What is the actual answer? What is the actual answer? Here they have asked it, that is which of the above statement is wrong. Here the two statements, if you actually say it, the two statements are correct only. So here they have yes, both correct. Yes, super, both correct. But here they have asked us wrong statement, hence the answer is none of the above. Okay, படிச்ச உடனே பார்த்த உடனே ரெண்டு ஈஸி ஓகே அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு போத் 1 and 2 போட கூடாது. இங்க கேட்டது wrong statement, அங்க கொடுத்திருக்க இது ரெண்டுமே கரெக்ட். எஸ், the earth seismic wave was first hits the epicenter. At the surface is called as epicenter. The point of origin of the earthquake is called as hypocenter. It is also known as hypocenter is also known as, what is the other term for hypocenter? What is the other term for hypocenter? Focus. Super. Yes, focus. Yes, super. So the other term of hypocenter is focus. So here they are given the correct statement, they have asked the wrong statement, so none of the above. The intensity of the earthquake is measured using Mercalli scale only. Richter scale is for earthquake, that is the level of earthquake only. It is not the intensity, it's the destruction level only. Okay, the destruction is level is measured in Richter scale. Intensity is measured in Mercalli scale. Okay, so it varies from Mercalli. That's the magnitude. We can say it is a magnitude. Magnitude is measured from Richter scale. The intensity is measured from Mercalli. Intensity in the sense, intensity na enna solranga appadina வந்து எவ்வளவு டிஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் ஆயிருக்கு. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், ஒரு மேக்னிடியூட் அதிகமா இருக்கக்கூடிய எர்த்குவேக் நிறைய டிஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் ஆகாம இருந்திருக்கலாம், அதை வந்து அது வேற மாதிரி இருக்கும். பட் ஒரு சில சின்ன மேக்னிடியூட், இப்ப ஒரு சின்ன மேக்னிடியூட் எர்த்குவேக் அது ஒரு சிட்டிக்குள்ள வந்துருச்சுன்னு வச்சுங்களேன், அது ஹெவி டிஸ்ட்ரக்ஷனை கொடுத்துரும். சோ அதான் இன்டென்சிட்டி அப்படின்னு நீங்க சொல்றாங்க. ஓகேவா? அண்ட் 7th question. Which of the following seismic waves helped scientists to understand about the interior of the earth? Which one? Interior of the earth. Both P and S wave is the correct answer, because P wave helped us to think about that there is a difference between that is S wave helped us to think about there is a difference between mantle and the core. But P wave again helped us to differentiate core, outer core and inner core. Can you get that? S wave helped us to differentiate mantle and the core. P wave helped us to differentiate outer core and inner core. So it is both P waves and S waves. L waves will not come here because the interior of the earth, L waves has nothing to do with the interior of the earth. So L waves will not come here. Then 8th question. Which of the following statement is correct about seismic waves? Surfaces are the most destructive of all seismic waves. Yes, it is a correct statement. P waves can travel through both solid and liquid. Yes, it is a correct statement. S waves can travel only through S waves can travel through solid only. Yes, it is again correct statement. I have given all the 3 statements as correct statement so that you might be getting some knowledge from that. அதை வந்து கன்ஃபியூஸ் பண்ண வேணாம் அப்படிங்கறதுக்காக அந்த 3 ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் கரெக்ட்டா கொடுத்திருக்கேன். மூணுமே கரெக்ட் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் தான். Question number 9. Assertion and reason. The shadow zone of P wave is higher than that of S wave. So the shadow zone of P wave is higher than that of S wave. Is it so? அப்படியா? Shadow zone of P wave is higher than the S wave? No. Yes. No. Yes. Super. No. Shadow zone of S wave is higher than the P wave. Why? P wave, S waves cannot travel through that is S waves cannot travel through the core, but P wave can travel through core. So S is higher than the P wave. So A wave wrong. The statement A is already wrong. The S waves can travel only through solid. Yes, it is already wrong. It is already right. It is again given for you in this statement itself. Okay. So here A is wrong, R is correct. Okay. So please give attentive to the statement. If you are giving attentive to the statement, if you are not able to get the answers for the statement, just read the statement 1 or 2 times. You will be getting the answer. Don't worry. படிச்ச உடனே கொஸ்டினுக்கு போய் ஆப்ஷன் போடணும்னு நினைக்காதீங்க. கொஸ்டினை 1-2 தடவை ரீட் பண்ணுங்க. ஓகேவா? டைம்லாம் இருக்கும், ரீட் பண்ணுங்க. நல்லா ரீட் பண்ணீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு ஆட்டோமேட்டிக் ஆன்சர் வந்துடும். Next, final question. Which is the following order incorrect with the when we travel from space to the interior of the Earth? This is what we covered today itself. But the same thing, atmosphere, crust, mantle, core. But this crust, mantle, core, we can again differentiate into lithosphere, and that is crust, upper mantle, and within the upper mantle, asthenosphere, then mantle, then outer core, then inner core. Likewise, we can differentiate. Okay, clear? Any doubts? Any doubts? Clear? Mind up பண்ணிடலாமா class? Yes, yes. Any doubts? Thank you, thank you. ஏதாவது டவுட் இருந்தா மட்டும் கேளுங்கம்மா. ஏதாவது டவுட் இருந்தா மட்டும் கேளுங்கம்மா. கான்டினென்டல் ட்ரிஃப்ட் உங்களுக்கு என்ன டவுட் சொல்லுங்க. கான்டினென்டல் ட்ரிஃப்ட்ங்கிறது ஒண்ணும் இல்லம்மா. கான்டினென்டல் ஜெயனப் அஃப்ரின் உங்களுக்கு தமிழ் புரியும் தானே? தமிழ்ல சொல்லலாமா? ஜெயனப் தமிழ்ல சொல்லலாமா? எஸ், ஓகே. கான்டினென்டல் ட்ரிஃப்ட் அப்படிங்கிறது என்னன்னா வந்து நம்மளோட சர்ஃபேஸ், நம்ம இன்னைக்கு பார்க்கக்கூடிய லேண்ட் சர்ஃபேஸ் வந்து இப்ப இருக்கிற மாதிரி ஆரம்பத்திலும் கிடையாது. அது வந்து மூவ் ஆகுது அப்படிங்கிறாங்க. இந்த லேண்ட் சர்ஃபேஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்றது வந்து எதை சொல்றாங்க அப்படின்னா, இந்த லேண்ட் சர்ஃபேஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்றது வந்து எதை சொல்றாங்க அப்படின்னா, நம்ம இன்னைக்கு பார்க்கக்கூடிய நம்மளுடைய கான்டினென்டல் ஏரியாவா இருக்கட்டும், நம்ம பார்க்கக்கூடிய நார்த் அமெரிக்கா, சவுத் அமெரிக்கா அப்படின்னு சொல்லி பார்க்கக்கூடிய கான்டினென்டல் ஏரியாவா இருக்கட்டும், இல்ல ஓஷனாவே இருக்கட்டும், ஓஷனாவே இருந்தாலும் அந்த ஓஷனுக்கு கீழே வந்து ஒரு லேண்ட் இருக்கு இல்லையா, அந்த ஓஷனுக்கு கீழே ஒரு அதாவது ஓஷன் நீங்க நம்ம பாக்குறோம் இல்லையா, பெசிபிக் ஓஷன் அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்றது, இல்ல அட்லாண்டிக் ஓஷன் சொல்றது, அதுக்கு கீழே ஒரு லேண்ட் இருக்கும்ல, அது எல்லாமே கண்டினியூஸ் மூவ்மெண்ட்ல இருக்குது. அது எல்லாமே ஒரு மாதிரி மூவ்மெண்ட் ஆயிட்டு இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறாங்க. அததான் கான்டினென்டல் ட்ரிஃப்ட்ங்கிறாங்க. அது ஏன் மூவ் ஆகுது, எப்படி மூவ் ஆகுது, மூவ் ஆகுறதுனால என்ன நடக்கும், அது எல்லாத்தையுமே நம்ம அடுத்த கிளாஸ்ல பார்க்கணும். பட் அதெல்லாம் மூவ் ஆகுதுங்கிறத மட்டும் மைண்ட்ல வச்சுக்கிறீங்க. அதுதான் கான்டினென்டல் ட்ரிஃப்ட் அப்படிங்கிறது. ஓகேவா? புரியுதா? Then any other doubts? Okay, thank you. Any other doubts? Yes, class over. Doubts இருக்கான்னு மட்டும் தான் கேக்குறேன். Class over. மைண்ட் அப் பண்ணிடலாமா? கிளாஸ் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிடலாமா? எனி டவுட்ஸ்? thank you. Any doubts? I think no doubt. அடுத்த கிளாஸ் எப்போங்கிறது நீங்க வந்து உங்களுக்கு இதுல தான் சொல்லணும். உங்களுக்கு அட்மின் இதுல டீம்ல இருந்து சொல்லுவாங்க.